Braille class. In our lesson today, we're going to be looking at how G and N and K and N can make the short sound N. But we're going to do our revise first. So I've got some different phase 3, which are the pink ones, and phase 5, which are my blue ones. So when I show you them, see whether you can say that sound for me. Your, E, A, oo or ng. Remember, sit that tongue out. Sh. Oo or I, o, ch. Ow or o. O. E split digraph. Oo split digraph. Remember, it can also make U in words like cute. E. W. R. O split digraph. Well done. So we know that the letter N in letter names makes the sound N. But today we're going to be having a look at how K and N together and G and N together make that same sound N. So we're going to have a little go at words with the K and N in first. So let's have a little look at whether we can segment and then blend. So remember that K and N is making N. So you've got to imagine that that K is silent. You've got to imagine that it's not there almost. So ot, 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 not. Like there was a knot in my trainer laces. Not. Next one, again, that K and N. Remember the K is silent, so it's o, and then special friend, k, ok, 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 knock, as in knock, knock, who's there? Knock. Next one. Remember that K and N makes what sound, everybody? Then we've got our trigraph I, and then t on the end. I, t, I, t, I, t, night. As in the olden days, a knight might come and protect or save a princess. A knight with his shield and with his sword, a knight. And the last one we're going to have a look at today with that K and N making N sound is this word. So we've got I, special friend, t, and then we've got that suffix I, ng on the end. So I'm going to split this up just to make it a bit easier for you. So we've got it, knit, and then we've got ing, ing, knit, ing. Let's put it together. Knitting, like knitting a jumper for my friend, knitting. I want you to have a little look at the position of our N sound that we're looking at today, that K and N. Where is it in those words? So have a little look. Where is it in those words? Well, in every single one of those words, it's at the start of the word, at the beginning of the word. So when you see that K before an N, you need to remember that K is silent. Imagine it's not there. And we just say the sound N. Fantastic. Okay, next one. Now we're going to have a little look at looking at words which have the G and N. And again, just like our K and N, we need to imagine that that G is not there. Because we just see the sound N. So let's try this one for me. So we've got G and N making N. We've got our split digraph O. And then we've got N, O, N, O, N, O, Gnome. Like a gnome that you might find in your garden. They usually have red hats. A gnome. Next one. Again, that G and N makes what sound, everybody? And then we've got our digraph, or, for I saw you yawn. Or, gnaw. So when you're gnawing something, it's like you're biting on something. So for example, my dog might gnaw on a bone. He's like biting, chewing, gnawing. Next one. You can see here now the G and N, that sound is in a different position. So we've just had two words where the with the G and N is at the beginning of the word. And now we've got it at the end of this word. So let's try this one. Now, this is quite tricky because that I makes an I sound in this word. So s, I, s, I, s, I, s, I, sign. Like, for example, when you're travelling on the road, you might see a traffic sign that says go this way, or a diversion sign. So, a sign. And the last one for this one that we're going to have a look at today, again, that sounds at the beginning of this word. So, at, gnat. And a gnat is a type of insect. A gnat, if you want to, you could research about those gnats just to see, if you've never seen one before, what they're like. So now we're going to have a little go at spelling some of those words. Now, this is the tricky bit, because I've given you words that have the K and N in. I've given you words that have the G and N in. So you've got to decipher which spelling you need for that word. So are you ready? And then we're going to tick off. We're not going to do all of them because there's quite a few words, but Miss Bailey's going to pick a few of them. So can you spell the word knock? Miss Bailey had to knock on the door to see if anybody was in the toilet. I will pause that video. Let's see if you were right. Oh, see whether we can find that word, knock. Here it is. We've got K and N making the N sound. Hopefully you used the correct one. Then O, and then that special friend, curly K, and kicking. K, knock. Well done if you got it right, guys, because it's quite a tricky one. Next one. Can you spell the word gnome? There was a gnome in my garden. Gnome. So think, is it KN or is it GN? And where is that N sound in the word? Is it the beginning, the end, or the middle of that word? Gnome. And we'll pause that video. Let's see whether you were right. So we're over this side this time because we've got G and N making the N sound. So we've got G, N. Now this was a hard one because it's a split digraph O. Really important we're using the correct spelling. So we've got O, M, and then E. Well done if you got that right, because again, that's quite a tricky one. Next one. Knight. The knight saved the princess from the tower. Knight. You'll probably see there, I'm imagining I've got a sword and I'm a knight. Knight. So I'm not talking about the night as in at night time I go to sleep. That's a different word. That's a homophone. So the same pronunciation of that word, but a different spelling and a different meaning. Today we're looking at night as in what? Which N sound is it? Is it KN or is it GN? Remember, pause that video. Let's see whether you were right. It is KN, of course. So K, N, then our trigraph I-G-H, and then T on the end. Right, we're going to do one more. Ooh, which one should Miss Bailey do? Okay, harder one. Sign. There was a sign saying that traffic was diverted. That means it was taking itself somewhere else. Sometimes when there's traffic issues on the roads or roads are closed, there'll be a sign that says diversion. It means the traffic has to go a different way to get to the same place. Sign. Sign. Think about it. Is it KN or is it GN making that N sound in that word? Sign. Pause that video. Let's see whether you were right. Of course, it is GN. And it's at the end of that word this time. So we've got S, I, G, and N. Well done if you got those right. Remember, if you want to challenge yourself, you can write some sentences with those words now. So if you do want to do that, just pause the video. You can write some sentences with those words in, maybe more than one sentence with those words in, and using conjunctions as well to extend those sentences. Now we're going to have a little go at holding our sentence, writing it, and then extending it today. So the sentence we're going to have a go at holding today is there was a knock at the door. So for there, we're going to do a big capital T because that's the beginning of our sentence. We know we need a capital letter at the beginning of sentences. There, for was, we're going to do a W. So there was a knock. So imagine you're knocking. So there was a knock, and then I want you to point to the door, at the door. So there was a knock at the door. So if you've got a door in the room that you're in, you can point at that door. Full stop on the end. Well done, let's go. There was a knock at the door. And again, full stop. There was a knock at the door. Full stop. Fantastic. This time, see whether you can say that sentence in slow motion. Are you ready? Including the actions. There was a knock at the door. Fantastic. This time, super speedy. Are you ready? Speed mode. Click yourself on. Let's go. There was a knock at the door. Full stop. Fantastic. Now let's see whether we can write that sentence. So for the first word there, what do we need at the beginning of the sentence? A capital letter. So a capital letter T. So let's have a little look at my sentence. So I've got a capital T at the top. Now there is one of our common exception words. It's quite a tricky one actually. So we've got a H after that one. And then we've got E, R, E. That's why it's tricky, because usually E-R-E makes ear, but in this word it makes there. There was is our next word. So we need a finger space between our words. Was another tricky word, because that A and S is making a different sound to what it would usually. It's making O and Z. There was, finger space, A. Then we're thinking about our knock from today. Is it GN or is it KN? It's KN. So I've got K, and I've got my N, O, and then that special friend K, which is C and K. There was a knock at, that's a nice easy word, A and T. The, one of our trickier words, TH, what's on the end, guys? E, making that up sound. There was a knock at the door. Now we had a little look at the OR sound a few lessons ago. Is it OR, is it OOR, or is it ORE? It is double OR. So O-O-R. And I'll come out full stop on the end. There was a knock at the door. Now remember, this sentence is pants because it's not got a conjunction in it. It's not been extended. So we're going to use the conjunction but today. So I am going to say there was a knock at the door, but when? Okay, so actually there's two conjunctions there because I've got the subordinated conjunction but, and I've also got the conjunction when. There was a knock at the door, but when I opened it, so big capital I, open, P-E-N, and then it's got that suffix E-D on the end. You can't hear the E, it just sounds like a D. When I opened the door, and again we've got our spelling of door here, I'm going to put after door, and also I need another comma after but, because this sentence, when I opened the door, is a subordinating clause. This means it couldn't work as a sentence on its own, but it adds extra information into my sentence now. So I can put my commas in to make this sentence, there was a knock at the door, but, and nobody was there, make sense on its own without this subordinating clause. So I could read it, there was a knock at the door, but nobody was there. But because I put this subordinating clause in, I've added extra detail. So I need my comma after but and a comma after door. There was a knock at the door, but when I opened the door, comma, nobody was there. So you see whether you can extend my original sentence. There was a knock at the door, using the conjunction but. You can add in that subordinating clause if you'd like to, when I opened the door, and then tell me what happened. But when I opened the door, it was too late and nobody was there. When I opened the door, see whether you can extend it for me.